Welcome to Tech Money Digest, your weekly roundup of artificial intelligence, cybersecurity, remote work, and digital economy news. In this edition, we're covering Google's new Gemini Spark AI assistant, Pope Leo's growing influence on conversations about AI ethics, new research suggesting artificial intelligence could create more jobs than it eliminates, the launch of Siemens' new artificial conversational AI app, and increasing skepticism towards AI among younger generations. We'll also discuss critical cybersecurity alerts involving WordPress, Palo Alto Networks, and Linux systems, along with major international operation that dismantled a botnet linked to approximately 17 million infected devices. And in this week's Paywatch segment, we'll examine a remote virtual assistant position that raises questions about compensation under the future of digital work. Let's get started. Google is expanding its artificial intelligence ecosystem with Gemini Spark, a new AI assistant designed to automate routine tasks such as email summarization, event planning, and information organization. While Gemini Sparks may not directly generate income for users, it reflects a growing trend towards AI powered productivity tools that could help workers save time and streamline daily workflow. Artificial intelligence is becoming part of a broader ethical and societal discussion. This week, Pope Leo Inclinal Manifesto Humanitas continues generating conversations around technical and policy circles. The document argues that technology, including artificial intelligence, is not neutral and encourages individuals and institutions to engage thoughtfully with the ethical implications of AI. As AI adoption accelerates, discussions like these may influence future regulations, governance frameworks, and emerging career opportunities in responsible AI. Meanwhile, workflow or workforce researchers actually are continuing to evaluate AI's impact on employment. News reporting suggests artificial intelligence could create more jobs than it eliminates. However, organizations are emphasizing upskilling and reskilling, enforcing and workforce development as critical priorities for preparing employees for rapidly changing digital economies. So, continuing on, I would just like to say that in product news, Seaman, that conversational AI startup founded by veteran of Oakless, has launched its iOS application. The platform aims to create more neutral and human-like AI interactions, highlighting the continued evolution of controversial AI technologies and digital assistants. At the same time, not everyone is embracing artificial intelligence without concern. Recent reporting from MIT Technology Review highlighted growing skepticism among some young students and younger workers regarding AI's impact on careers, education, and the future of work. These interactions or reactions reflect an ongoing debate that are the opportunities and risks associated with emerging technologies turning to cybersecurity. WordPress website owners should be aware of an active exploited vulnerability affecting the WordPress Max Pro plugin. According to security researchers, attackers may be able to create an unauthorized administrative account on vulnerable websites, potentially exposing organizations, agencies, and independent website operators to significant risk. Organizations using Palo Alto's network technologies should also pay close attention to new security warnings involving Global Protect VPN and Pan OS systems. Researchers report that authentication bypassing vulnerabilities are being actively exploited, creating potential pathways for unauthorized access to corporate networks for remote workers and distributed teams. These developments reinforce the importance of multi factor authentication, security updates, and strong access controls. Linux administrators and technology professionals should also be aware of newly disclosed vulnerabilities known as CIF switch. Researchers actually warned that the flaw could allow attackers to gain elevated privileges on affected Linux systems, making timely patching and system maintenance especially important. In more encouraging cybersecurity news, Dutch authorities announced that the disruption of a major botnet operated operation linked to approximately 17 million infected devices worldwide. The operation represents a significant effort to reduce cybersecurity to reduce cyber criminal infrastructure and improve digital security for organizations and individuals alike. And finally, we will get into our pay watch next. So, this week for Paywatch, finally in this week's Paywatch segment, a remote lead generation specialist and virtual assistant opportunity posted on Linkage Web Solutions advertising compensation of approximately $4 to $5 an hour. While pay rates vary across industries and geographic regions, the listing has sparked a discussion about compensation standards, market value, and the importance of developing specialized skills, and that supports stronger earning potential in the digital economy, that is. Now, before we wrap up here, I do want to point out what this week's key takeaways are. So, starting with number one in our key takeaways, prioritize your cyber hygiene, folks. Now, with that being said, with critical flaws in WordPress, Palo Alto's VPNs, and even the Linux kernel being actively exploited, it is not a matter of if, but when your systems might be targeted. Updated religiously. And enable MFA wherever possible, and stay vigilant for alerts on the tools you use. Also, don't ignore ethical sides of AI. The Pope recent inclinal reminds us that the technology is neutral. As tech professionals, we need to proactively engage with AI's ethical implications, not just its capabilities. This isn't just for societal good, it's shaping the future of regulations and job roles. And three, AI is a double edged sword for job creations, that is. But upskilling is your shield. While some predict AI will create more jobs than it eliminates, there's a growing skepticism amongst younger generations. Invest in continuous learning and skill development now to prepare for the evolving demand and stay competitive. And four, be aware of the race to the bottom in the remote wage. That $4 to $5 per hour virtual assistant job listing is a stark reminder that not all remote work is created equal. Focus on niche skills and value driven services to command competitive rates and avoid undervaluing your expertise. That's it for this week's Tech Money Digest. If you found this update helpful, subscribe to Tech Money Diaries for more discussions covering artificial intelligence, cybersecurity, workforce trends, remote work, and the digital evolving economy. This episode is provided for informational and educational purposes only. Content is based on publicly available reports, research, and industry news available at the time of the publication. Individual circumstances and outcomes may vary. Again, thank you all for tuning in to this week's episode of Tech Money Digest. Please subscribe, like, and comment to our channel to be informed of the next time we go live. Again, thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of Tech Money Digest. Please subscribe and see you in the next Tech Money Diaries.